Hello everybody, it's Kara from Wild Book Garden, and today I'm here to talk about the books I'm planning to read for TorDotComAthon. So this is the second round of TorDotComAthon, and I am very excited to be a co-host. I will link my announcement video down below, as well as all of the other co-hosts. This readathon is running for the entire month of March. We're going to be having reading sprints throughout the month. We're also going to be having a discussion for our group book, which I will talk about in a second here. And also, this is really exciting, but we're all going to be doing a giveaway. Each of us is going to be giving away a copy of a book that is published by Tor. They very generously set this up, worked it out with Bethany, and yeah, just we're very grateful to be able to share some of these books with you. Please check the description box for information about how to enter, and I'm going to be giving away a copy of The Crane Husband by Kelly Barnhill. This is one I actually haven't read yet, but I have really enjoyed things I've read by Kelly Barnhill before, and it's an interpretation of the Crane wife story, but it has a feminist twist. I've heard pretty good things about it, and if you're interested in winning a copy of this one, then again, check the description box for details on how to enter. We might end up doing the drawings, like the giveaway drawings, during our reading sprints. We're not sure yet, but all of the information will, again, be in the description. And I'm gonna just start talking about some of the books I hope to read. This time around, you can read any books that are put out by Tor, so not just Tor.com, so you have even more options, and we have a wonderful bingo board. There's a ton of prompts. If you just read our group book, you are well on your way to not only getting a bingo, but completing like a huge chunk of the board. So we encourage doubling up if that is something that you enjoy doing. I also hope the lighting isn't too strange. It's a very, very gloomy day outside, so hopefully that doesn't mess anything up too much. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about what I hope to read. I will definitely be reading our group book, which is Even Though I Knew the End by C.L. Polk. And this is the one that I said, completes a ton of prompts. This is like an alternate historical fantasy set in like a fantasy, like a kind of an urban fantasy version of Chicago, and it's like a murder mystery. There's also a sapphic romance. I've heard really great things about this one, so I'm very excited for that. And again, check out our announcement for details on exactly all of the prompts that this one covers, but I'm using it for all of those, and also a new to me author, because I haven't yet read anything by C.L. Polk. I also mentioned The Crane Husband by Kelly Barnhill, so not only am I giving away a copy of this book, but this is one that I am hoping to read during the month of March as well. And this is, I'm counting for the 2023 release prompt. I'm gonna try and get a blackout because I have absolutely no chill. This is just the kind of person I am. So that's the one that I'm hoping to use for that. Then another one I am really excited for, I have The Spare Man by Mary Robinette Kowal. This is actually a recommendation from Bethany herself. Like I remember her talking about this one a couple months ago, and she really enjoyed it, and it hasn't gotten a lot of hype, but it sounds really good. So this is a sci-fi that is also a murder mystery, and there's also, I think, a strong romantic element because our main character, her and her husband are on their honeymoon, and then there's a dead body that turns up, and her husband is the primary suspect, and so the two of them have to work together to like try and prove that he didn't do it. And I just think this sounds really interesting. I like the sound of this like genre mashup, and it'll be interesting to like, I don't tend to pick up a lot of books where like the love interests are already together, so that'll be interesting as well. And I'm counting this for the disabled author prompt because as you can see by the cover, the main character has, she uses a cane, and Mary Robinette Kowal is also disabled. I believe she also uses a cane. And I'm also using this for the space opera prompt because I'm pretty sure this would count. I don't know, I'm just guessing. Then I have two different Shauna Maguire books. One of them is under the pen name A. Deborah Baker. This is Along the Saltwise Sea. This is the second book in her Up and Under series, which is her super whimsical portal fantasy middle grade series. I read the first book recently, and I didn't love it as much as some people do, but I did enjoy a lot of things about it, and I definitely want to continue the series. Yeah, I'm very curious to see where things go based on how we ended the last book. I'm using this for the fairy tale inspired prompt because this is kind of inspired by kind of like the idea and the concept of different fairy tales. It's not like a specific retelling, but we follow it two characters, these young kids who find themselves in this world called the Up and Under, and they're trying to get back home. And yeah, there's a lot of like interesting characters that they meet along the way, so very curious to see how I feel about this second book. Maybe I'll like it even more. Then the other Shauna Maguire book I have is Beneath the Sugar Sky. This is the third book in the Every Heart a Doorway series. It's been so long since I have read from this series. I think one of the things that like slowed me down is I know that the book after this one is another Jack and Jill book, and I know people love them, but I'm tired of them. So I think that's maybe been one of the reasons I haven't gotten to this, but I would like to get to this one. This is one of the ones that is set in the actual other world, and I could use this one or the Up and Under book for Portal Fantasy. It says, the colorful world of confection where the lollipop flowers and cotton candy clouds belie the darkness below. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. I tend to really like stories that have that kind of lightness and sweetness, and then there's like darker things underneath. So I want to finally continue the series. I'm also using that one for book in a series prompt, although again, I could also use her other series for that. I guess this is just the month of me catching up on Shauna Maguire. Then I have kind of a wild card. So this is in the Tor Teen imprint. I don't remember if that's one of the ones that like is officially covered, but it is Tor. So I guess I hope it's okay. I hope I can count it. But I'm using this for the weapon on the cover prompt because I don't know if you can see, but the main character has a bunch of swords on her back. This one sounds really interesting. So this is a fantasy with, I think there's like weather magic, and the thing that interested me about this book, I remember Book Rat Missy talking about this ages ago, and the thing that really interested me about this is she was saying like the first half or so it feels very like standard fantasy, kind of like predictable and like not really anything special, and then it really does something different, and that just like made me really curious. So I don't know, I want to try it. I have owned this one for a really long time, so that one could count for the been on my TBR for more than a year. Okay, and then I have one more before I get into just some books that I might slot in wherever, but one more that I have to like specifically talk about. This is for the prompt that is a book published in the 1900s, and one of the only ones that I could find that I like am interested in, and I actually do own a copy of this one. Why am I doing this to myself? I'm nervous. I have The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. This is the first book in the Wheel of Time series. It's like 700 pages. I don't know why I'm doing this, but Sarah's Perusals is going to be very excited, so that's nice. Yeah, I don't know what to expect. I don't know. I know this is a series that people have very strong feelings about. Some people think it's incredibly overhyped. Some people, it's like one of their favorite series in the world. So we will see where I fall. My friend Margaret read one or two books in the series, I think. And I remember her talking about how she was pleasantly surprised by the way some of the female characters were written, which encourages me. I think I probably will feel that way too. So I don't know. Am I going to read a 700-page book? Maybe? Okay, and then I have just a few here that are kind of like, I don't know, we'll see if I get to these. Bethany described it as a structured mood reader, which I love, because I like to have specific ideas, but I like having a big pile of them so that I still have a lot of variety within the things that I want to read. So this one, which I was surprised this is published by Tor, Strangely Beautiful by Leanna Renee Heber. This is 2 novels in 1 volume. It also says author's preferred edition, so that's pretty cool. This just sounds super interesting. So it's like a steampunk gas lamp fantasy. There's like paranormal aspects. I think there's like a murder mystery. I don't know. It sounds like there's a lot going on here. It sounds really good. I don't know. I feel like the genre blend is going to be really interesting. So that one is a possibility. Then I have one that I actually have started. This is on my paused shelf. And that is Wildbound by Elaine Audrey Becker. I really, really enjoyed the first book in this duology when I read it, like around the time it came out. And this sequel was one of my most anticipated releases. It came out last year, and I still haven't finished it. And that's partly because the reason I put it down is like it was pretty slow, and I wasn't as engaged as I was in the first book, and I think a big part of that is that we now have split points of view, and so we're following not only the main character of the first book but also her brother, and I don't find him as interesting of a protagonist. I don't know, but I do want to finish this series off. I did get 90 pages into it, and probably I should prioritize this one since I've already technically started it, so maybe that'll happen. I don't know. I guess that's like the motto of this video. Maybe this will happen. I don't know. And then one that I'm really leaning towards, I think I would really like to get to this one in March, is The Guns Above by Robin Venice. This is the first book in the Signal Airship series, and I think, is this like steampunk or, I don't know. I can't tell if there's like magical aspects or if it's just kind of like historical steampunk kind of thing. But one of the reasons I was really excited about this is it has one of my favorite character types, which is basically like the Scarlet Pimpernel thing, where somebody is like, they seem very like shallow and like self-centered and like not at all a threat, and they're actually really smart. Lord Bernat is the male lead, and that's kind of like his thing. I don't love books on ships or like heavily military books, but like the character stuff really interests me about this one, so hopefully that'll carry me through. And then I think the last one I have to talk about, I don't know if maybe I've forgotten something, but I also have The Luminaries by Susan Dennard. This is a kind of paranormal contemporary fantasy. There's like some spookiness going on, and I've heard really great things about this. I've been really enjoying Susan Dennard's Witchland series, and I'm excited to try something totally different from her. Our main character is one of a group of kids who are like, their families I think are like guardians of like their town or something. I don't know. I don't know that much about it. I just know I like Susan Dennard and I've heard really good things about this one, even though I can't remember much of the premise. So might pick this one up as well. Okay, everybody, so that was my very haphazard group of books that I am hoping to get to in March. Don't forget to check out my co-hosts for their videos and TBRs and giveaway information and all the good things, and keep an eye on all of our channels and social media for like live streams. Like, you know, we're going to be doing lots of reading sprints throughout the month. I'm going to have a discussion on the book, and thank you again, Tor, for donating these giveaway copies. That was so generous of you. And yeah, comment down below. Let me know if you guys are excited and participating in the readathon. Let me know a book that you're planning to get to. And I know I keep saying this, but please remember to check the description box for actual details on the giveaway, like how to enter and how it's all going to work. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon with another video, and I hope you love the next book you read. Bye!